Well, good morning, everyone. This is take two, and it's Thursday. Same thing again. I'm hopeless. Too much in the brain. Thursday, the 10th of November, and we're a bit late. We did get up and started. Everything was happening, and I knew exactly in my mind what I was going to talk about. And then we didn't actually lose power. We just lost the whole internet on the phones and everything. And we in Cape Town, they don't have enough power generating capacity, so there is random scheduled power blackouts, and ours was last night from midnight till 2:15 in the morning this morning, and that mucked up some of our stuff with Pat coming into the Royal Cape Yacht Club Marina, the quarantine berth there, which we managed to get underway. We had a few issues. I won't go into the fine detail, but we had to record it and then play it back, but we couldn't play it back as a live until 2:15. So it was a big morning this morning, and then something just happened, and we just lost everything, which happens. And residents here, they usually have batteries and inverters to keep some of the things going, but in this case, something must have triggered. We had power, the router inside the unit was working, but we couldn't get internet. So sorry about that, and it's just come back up. We had to reprogram everything, and now we are here talking about the GGR. So yeah, it was great to see Pat. Sad story about the Aries wind vane. We will be investigating that, as we did with the hydrovane. It's pretty important, and we need to know why it failed. In fact, again, this is funny, I've had a lot of experience with Aries, and the headed bush on the swivel shaft should not fail, and very rarely does. I've never heard of one failing before, but it can happen. So we'll have a look at that and see what's going on. So for now, lots of interesting things happening, but the first thing I just wanted to get rid of that. That's Chinese software here. The South Atlantic High is not doing what it usually does. There's sort of this remnants of what looks like a South Atlantic High. If we put the latitude and longitudes on, you've got the the trades at the top, so that's over the top, and then you go right down here to the roaring 40s before you get the westerlies. So this is sort of meant to be it, but if you look there straight away, you've got this little low pressure system in the middle of what should be an organised centre of a high. You've got all this sort of patchy stuff over here. This is a high pressure cell just on the side here, and yeah, just a real mix up, and that's not making the guys at the back of the fleet very happy at all, because there's not a lot of consistency, and we'll just focus on that a bit for now before we get into the leaders here. So this morning, Guy's making pretty reasonable progress because he's not becalmed. He's making 1.9 knots. Prior to this, the last 4-hour set, he was moving a bit better than that. Nord's just fluffing around here. It's not really his fault. It's just he's really lucked out. He's got a little bit of breeze, but all over the place. And if you look at his forward progress towards Cape Town in the last 5 days, it amounts to about 200 miles. He's been up and down a little bit and so on, and stopped and moving. Now, 200 miles in 5 days is not a lot. There's 40 miles a day. And that's really impacting their progress forward. He's the smallest boat of the fleet. We warned him about that when he entered. His challenge will be to make the gate, and it's not working out very well at all. That's the Hobart Gate, and we make no apologies for the Hobart Gate, because it's to make sure anyone that leaves Hobart has got a realistic chance of getting around Cape Horn by the end of March. I've mentioned that before, because then the weather gets very extreme and it's just too dangerous. So Suharli's back marker, these guys behind, big mix here of all sorts of weather. Ian Herbert Jones making 3.7 knots, and Elliot's been moving pretty well, but he's slowing down now, 3.5. He's making reasonable progress towards Cape Town, so that's kind of good. And we'll put Ayrton in there. He makes it on the map at the moment, but making 0.9 of a knot, going nowhere. He'd been going okay. A couple of days before, he was getting 30-40 knots again, couldn't make any easting, was going north, and very disappointed with that, but that's sailing. So just to look at the weather back here, if I pull that forward a day, that's it there, that's tomorrow. Again, not much happening for Arnaud, not much happening for Guy. He could be in this little northwesterly breeze here, so coming along, he's not going to stop. He'll keep moving, but very slow. Arnaud, if he's making forward progress in the next 24 hours, he'll be here. Not a lot of breeze. Ian Herbert Jones headed into nowhere for breeze, so he's not going to be fast either. Elliot, he'll be over here parked probably, so in the 24 hours they're not making huge progress. On the 12th, the next day, again, Elliott will be somewhere here, so a bit light. Ian Herbert Jones, if he's making to the east, he's going to be in here again, so still not moving. Nord's got some breeze at last, so hopefully he'll start heading to Cape Town. And Guy, the same too, depending on where he goes. So still not a lot of light at the end of the tunnel to get him moving big distances. One more day, and then Elliott's got not a lot happening. Ian Herbert Jones, sure, he could be in some good stuff. Bit more solid. Same with Nord, and then Guy. Hopefully he'll be into this and keep moving. But you can see the systems are moving around. They're small, and it's just not helping them. But it's a transition period, time of the year, so that's part of the deal of actually leaving later in September. Anyway. Coming back to today's weather, and we'll look at what's happening. Abolish is getting close towards Cape Town now. We'll just build this up again so we can see the front end. Okay, there's Jeremy down the bottom corner. So today, real-time weather, as I mentioned, Ayrton's not doing much, and Jeremy also 3.4 knots. He's obviously this back end. And he's got real challenges, dragging barnacles, contemplating the meaning of life, thinking, crikey, can I make the gate in time? We'll just follow that as it comes up. Michael Goog, 5.7 knots, doing okay. Damien's okay, 5.4. And this he's still in a southeasterly at the moment, which is pretty good. It's not 4 to the beam yet, and they might get lucky. Certainly Abolish has got through it, and he's approaching our place here, and it's a beautiful day outside. Only 5 to 10 knots of breeze, flat calm, blue sky. It's pretty good. Then we've got Kirsten and Tapio. I'll make this a bit bigger so you can see it a bit more. They're heading back down. They can't go south because of the easterly. There's a strong easterly component in the breeze, which is better than a southeasterly. It was southeasterly and they were pushing out, but now it's Tapio's just starting to come on the back edge of it. As it goes east, he can make due south. Kirsten's still hanging out there. She might, the breeze is suggesting she can actually move, but she might be getting a slightly different in her area. So you'll see him pull around anyway, and they'll be dipping south to get down into the roaring 40s. Simon, on the other hand, is bolted. He's actually looking really good over here, but I'll put that in the big picture with the weather in a minute. I'll just focus on Abolish for now because I'm interested. We were waiting for the update. Jane's putting him on a shorter time lapse, 4.4 knots. So I'm going to build that up and come up with an ETA because we might have to rush out the door by the look of things. There wasn't a lot of breeze in and around Cape Town in the last sort of 4 or 5 hours, but it's just starting to pick up again now. So here is Abolish, it's 17 miles. We've been saying about 1 o'clock, and now what do we got? 20 miles, and his speed, so say 20 miles, his speed right now, he should maintain that all the way in. Come on, click over. There we go, 4.4. So in the next 3 hours or so, we'll see him there. It's 11 o'clock here, so it'll be about 2 o'clock maybe. So I'll start alerting people in a minute, and this will stay on 1 hourly, and then we'll see him come down. He got pushed a bit north because it was a stronger southeasterly, but it's not going to be too hard for him to come across in this breeze. We will now just pick this up, and I just want to look at Abolish just for my own interest and your interest as well. We're going to animate that and just see what it's saying. Coming through, we're animating now. Yeah, the breeze is waffling around, getting a bit quiet. We're on the wrong day here. We punched forward. It's 4 knots now. This is real-time weather now. There's a big hole. It's lightening off, but no, it's not. It's coming in. So if he's 4 knots now, he'll maintain that speed all the way through. Yeah. So we'll see him about somewhere around 2 o'clock, I reckon, local time. That's 3 hours from now. Damien is, just to give everyone an update there, it's looking like it'll be sometime tomorrow morning. I'll come back here, give him a distance. So we've got, he's 120 nautical miles to go, and he'll, as long as it doesn't swing too far forward and it's coming on the nose and increasing, he's making 5 knots at the moment. My estimate is, let's see what this is real-time weather now. That's okay. So 120 miles, 5 knots, that's 24 hours. So yeah, he's still going to have the breeze coming in. So sometime tomorrow, late morning, I'd think. This is 5 o'clock, going to be light headwinds. Yeah, maybe tomorrow afternoon, looks like for Damien, but we'll follow that a bit more as we get through Ablish coming through. Two interesting cells there, but we'll get rid of that. Now I'm going to look at what's going on with the leaders here and what they can look forward to in the future. Come on. Okay, so you can see Simon's rocketed off. He's now currently doing 2.2 knots. He's at the lead, the head of this high pressure cell here. Okay, and he had been moving quite well right up until now. He went through that heavy weather at the start, and then yesterday he made really reasonably good progress. The previous 4 hours, I think he was making 4 or 5 knots, and now he's slowing down. So he's made good time from Cape Town. We'll do the distance now, just show you what's going on. He's made he's about nearly 400 miles out of Cape Town, which is pretty good. It's been a few days, but it's always a battle to get down here. Tapio now is where are we over here? Tapio is about cutting the corner, 120 miles out, and Kirsten, you can see she's a beam on the other side. They've all got to come down here and turn the corner, so it's still making a longer distance from Simon to Kirsten, for instance. We're over there. We've got nearly 400 miles behind, so Kirsten's and everyone's got their work cut out to keep up with Simon. So here's the big question, will he get, I'm going to go back so you can see the weather coming through. This is the roaring 40s, that's where you want to be. And as we go forward, I'll animate this. This is everyone's an hour, so that's this afternoon, 5 o'clock. The breeze is starting to come back for Simon, but it's from the east, so he's going to be going down south. So he'll just keep pushing south. Good for Tapio and Kirsten. It's an easterly breeze. They'll be able to both go south. And this is now the next day. That's rolling over to the 11th. This is 24 hours from now. Simon's got breeze to go south. So's Kirsten and Tapio. So that's good. And then you can see it building. So they'll all be going down south, which is kind of cool. There's a big blow coming down from the other side here, big low pressure system, and that should go under them, but we'll just see. Coming across the 12th, there's the 13th. Starting to get now into the westerlies. This is what you got. So there's the 40th parallel, 18th. It's yeah, you can see what's happening here. Finally, after a week, you're starting to get the South Atlantic high down here, and you've got to be in the 40s to get across and up, and this is what's going to affect the tail enders again. They've got to get south. If they don't get south, they're going to be battling headwinds again all the way. So it does start to get organised in about a week. You're seeing the South Atlantic high form, but if they're not down, they're going to be slow again. So some good, interesting stuff happening, developing back there. So we'll start following Ablish into the finish here or the film gate rather, and then he'll turn and run. Ablish is under pressure if you're following his tweets. Got interesting challenges like everyone else, but the psychological games that go on in the GGR, that's what it's about. It's a head game. Oh, I just said stop recording again. Bloody hell. Okay, I'll recover the broadcast. Recover and keep broadcasting. I don't know what that means yet, but I'm going to turn off and see how far